Hey guys, Jen here. So today we're going to make a 4th of July or a patriotic mesh wreath. So I was able to find some really cute goodies at the Dollar Tree. The first thing we're going to use for the sign is this really cute USA sign. And I did pick up several of these because I also enjoy the shape of them. And I thought that it'd be cute to do some other DIYs with. But we're going to use the front of this sign, this USA sign. Then you also need some mesh. Now, I did have to order mine online, but I did see that a couple of my Dollar Trees, after I ordered them online, did have some available. So I'm going to use the red, white, and blue, and I'm going to use, I think, 2 rolls of each color. I usually use 3 rolls, but I have some other stuff I'm going to put in. So I have these cute pinwheels, which I thought would be neat. So I got 3 of these. And they're all 3 kind of just a little bit different, where this one is red and blue, blue and silver, and this one's red and silver. So I thought these would be cute to stick in there just to add some fun. Then I got this garland. Isn't this cute? It reminded me of fireworks, so I thought I would use this too in my wreath. It's just really cute. I also grabbed some of these foam scatters in the sparkly white, red, white, and blue. And then for some ribbon, I've got, I have this too. I don't know if I probably won't use these, but this is available. I didn't even realize I had it. It was laying in the bottom of this basket. This has got some stars on it. I don't know. I might use it. I might not. I might hang it down from the bottom. That might be what I do with it. Okay. Then for some ribbon, I just kind of like looked at my stash. So I have some with some sailboats on it. I don't know, not really 100% happy with it. It's not sparkly, but you know. And I do have some sparkly red Christmas ribbon. That kind of intrigues me. I'm liking the idea of some sparkly red ribbon. I also have some, hold on a second. I also have this blue gingham or plaid check that I got this at Joann Fabric on Uber clearance. So I think I paid 97 cents for it. So, oh wait, no, this one, it was the sailboat came from Joann Fabric for 97 cents. This one came from Old Time Pottery, but it was on clearance as well. I think I got it for $1.50. But this is like a really pretty blue, so I thought this would match as well. So I'm just going to try and play. I may not use ribbon. I may just use the fireworks, if you will. So I'm just going to kind of play around with it and see where we end up and how we like it and stuff like that. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is my cutting setup. So I am using this tempered glass cutting board. I know it's kind of hard to see because I have my dirty mat underneath of it. But it has the cut lines on it. I got this on Amazon for about $25. I have seen it, you know how Amazon prices go up and down, so I have seen it for $20, but I love this. I'm going to use a wood burner today to kind of seal those edges a little bit. You can definitely use a rotary cutter, something like this, on a sealable or healable mat like this would be good, or you can just use your scissors, you know. The other thing I want to show you, which is super fun, is I got this little basket at the Dollar Tree and these dowel rods at the Dollar Tree. Now I do have my stapler in here just for some weight, but I also have these little clips. They came in a package, I think 6 at the Dollar Tree. But what I do is I take my mesh and I put it in the dowel rod right through the hole. Then I take this little clip and I clip it here so that the dowel rod doesn't move. And then I have a nice little, I don't know, ribbon holder. There you go. So I'm going to start with my wood burner. And when you're cutting, make sure that you're using some type of mask. I'm not right now because I want to be able to talk to you, but once I get a few cut, then I'll switch to my mask, just because you don't want to breathe in these fumes. But you want to take your wood burner and you're just going to cut off the end here that's all kind of weird, that way you can seal that end. This really does cut down in fraying, and not all of it, of course, because this is Dollar Tree mesh, but it does really cut down in the fraying. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my mesh for this at 8 inches. It's my go-to size, if you will, for a Dollar Tree curly mesh. So I'm just going to cut this here And you want to go kind of slow, just enough really that it will seal. And so I do a couple of these. I'm going to use, or cut up the whole roll of the red, white, and blue, and then we'll get started. So I'm just showing you, just kind of want to go kind of slow. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut up all this mesh, and then we'll put them together. Okay, so I want to show you how to put your mesh bundles together. So the first thing you need to do is get one of each color, and we're going to be making a bundle that looks like this. So when you're rolling your mesh, you want to make it about the diameter of a quarter. So I roll it, and you can kind of see the diameter there. And then I'm going to put it in my hand and hold it. I'm going to roll all the other ones. So the red. And right here, I just want to make sure they're about the same diameter. And some of them get kind of funky, especially as you get towards the end, the ones that are on the end of the roll. Then we're going to take a pipe cleaner. Now this is half a pipe cleaner. I just took a regular Dollar Tree pipe cleaner and snipped it in half. So while these three are in your hand, you're going to lay this across it, fold it, so your pipe cleaner is hanging at the bottom, and then pull, pinch to make it tight, and then twist it a couple times. And you want to make sure that you leave enough room on your pipe cleaner to attach it to your wreath frame. Now I've got a couple here that I've already done, so I want to show you how to attach these to your frame. So everyone has their own method. I have a few that I've already done, but the method I like to do is kind of a zigzag pattern. So when I start, sorry, it's all sticking together. So when I start, I usually start at a crossbar, and if you can see here, I'm going around the top two, and then I move to the middle, and then to the bottom, and then to the middle, and then to the top, middle, bottom. Okay, so I just do this zigzag pattern, and I usually end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 per section is what I've done. So what you have here is half of a wreath done. Let me go out a little bit. So you can see I have half the frame done, and that was a total of 3 rolls. So one of each color did half of the frame. So the reason I'm telling you that is that if you were putting a sign on half of your frame and not doing the entire thing, let's say you wanted to mount your sign here. Okay? See how cute that is? You know what? I might do that. See how cute this is? Just like this. This is a good way to save on mesh, and it still makes a really cute design. So actually, now that I'm looking at this, I kind of like this, so I might just leave it like this, and then we'll add in some other details. Alright, so as I have been kind of looking at this, I really liked the idea once I showed you a different way. I wasn't going to do it this way, and then once I kind of looked at it, I was like, oh, I like that. But what I've decided to do is kind of do it cockeyed, like this. So I still need to fill in this section of frame. So let me show you how to fill that in. So what you're going to do is, see how this one is at the top. So I'm going to come back down and I'm going to do the middle. So I'm going to take one of my bundles, I'm going to wrap it around the 2 middle rings and then twist it tight. And because I'm doing that zigzag, my next one will be at the bottom 2. And I can twist that. And then I'm going to go back up to the middle again. And then to the top. And as I'm doing this, we can scrunch them in so that they are not showing, so there's not so much space between each one and that you can't see the frame. So I'm just going to continue to do this until, well, for this section, I'm just going to do, I'll keep putting the sign on to see that everything is covered. So I want to, because I'm going to do it kind of off to the side. So it looks like I need to go all the way to the T here, if you will, and then maybe a few extra for my sign to fill up this section. So I'm going to fill that up, and then I'll count how many I have so that you can see, because I know otherwise you need 7 per section, but because I'm doing this half one, I want to make sure that I give you an accurate count. Okay, so for this frame, to do the kind of the cockeyed sign, I have 7 in 3 sections and 5 in the other, so 7, 14, 21. I have 26 total. Oh my gosh, the loop, the bundles, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is kind of play with ribbon and those pieces of this stuff. I also have these whirligigs to put in these pinwheels, but we'll save that for last. I'm going to attach my sign later. One, my hot glue gun is heating up, and 2, I don't want to knock all the glitter off my glue, my sign, by messing around with it. So I have this garland, and I love it. I think it's awesome. And I have some ribbon as well, and I'm wondering if this isn't enough for the look that I'm going for. So I'm going to do this first when I know I want to use this. So I'm going to get out my scissors, and I'm going to treat this kind of like I would just ribbon. So I'm just going to put it in, snip it off, and then I'm going to use my pipe cleaner. Let me see how long this is first. It is about 8 inches long. But then I'm going to use my pipe cleaner. So I'm going to fold it in half, put my pipe cleaner in the middle. I'm going to give it a twist. Don't pull too tight because you'll break it. But I'm going to give it a twist. And then I have this cute little ribbon. And this is wired. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. What a find, guys. This is wired garland. This is so cool. So then I'm just going to tuck it in around my wreath, and I think this stuff looks so much like fireworks. I am loving it. So I'm just going to tuck and twist the same way that we did our bundles. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. All right, I don't think I'm going to use any ribbon. I'm going to use all this stuff. I think that gives me just the look I'm looking for. So I'm going to cut this up and just put those bundles of ribbon, if you will, if you want to call this ribbon, around the wreath. And I'm going to use a lot of it because I love the sparkle. I love that it reminds me of fireworks. And I'm not being exact because this is not an exact science with this stuff because it kind of goes around everywhere at once. But I'm just going to cut it all up to 7 inches. I'm going to use a bunch of it. And just kind of spread it around with eyeballing everything. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's your taste anyway. And in half. Perfect. Okay. Lots of little strays here. So I'm just going to keep going around. So again, I'm going to take it in half, give it a little twist around that wire, and then just tuck it in my wreath all the way around. So I'm going to do all that, and we'll come back and we'll look at the pinwheels and the sign. Okay, so I added in my little firecrackers. They are so cute. I love it. I used all but 3 of them. And at the end, when we're done, I'm going to go back and add some more. We'll just have to see how it looks. So now I want to show you how to add in your sign. So I want my sign to be kind of sideways. So however you want your sign, get it placed the way you want, and then hold it and turn it over. So I'm going to kind of play with mine real quick here, and I want it to look like that. So I'm going to hold it and turn it over. Now you need a pencil, and you want to mark the middle of where your crossbar is. Okay, so for like this one, my crossbar is all the way down here at the bottom, and then here in the middle, and then down here on the end. So let me make sure I marked that right. So there's one there, there, and there. Now that is important because that's where we're going to put our staples for our connectors. So the next thing that I use is some full-size pipe cleaners. I'm going to do 3. Actually, for this one, I can do half-size pipe cleaners, I think. Because I'm not stretching it super far. If I were putting this in the middle, then I would want to stretch it out. You also want to heat up, so you make sure your hot glue gun is heating up. And then you're going to put your staples. And I usually just use my regular staple. You don't want to push in too far because you don't want to go through your frame. We are going to cover this with glue. If you hit it hard, it will go all the way through. But if you just staple it like you were stapling paper, it won't go all the way through your board. And then you can just cover it with hot glue, which is what I usually do. So cover the staple and the pipe cleaner with hot glue. And I've used this method forever, and I've never had any problems. However, my front door does not face the sun. So I have heard, I don't, just secondhand, I don't have any experience with it, and none of my customers have ever said anything, but I have heard that if you put your wreaths on your door in their direct sunlight, that the sun can loosen that hot glue and cause items to fall off. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your stuff like that. And other ways to connect would be with E6000, or if you had shorter staples. So I want to play with my pinwheels. I know I don't want the entire stick. I'm not really sure if I want them to move, but I'm thinking to cut right here on the stick and be able to glue them in. So I'm kind of just thinking to space them out evenly around here is what I was thinking. I'm also thinking about maybe sticking them out the sides. So I'm going to play with this a little bit and kind of decide what I want while my glue is drying. So that is an idea, maybe to go off the sides. It's also an idea not to use them. That's also right, because this is beautiful. And I do also have these guys I could put on here. I don't know if I want to use these or not. I might save these for my next one. But this is definitely a bold choice. I do have these little stars, these foam stars, but I really like this garland, and I think that it is enough, if you are hearing me. I do have these stars, though, that I am loving. So, and I love that they are attached with burlap. I have some of this burlap, and so I think I might use this to attach my stars. So some of them I will leave attached and some of them I will take off. But I love the burlap, and I'm going to attach this to the bottom of my frame for sure, because I love this. If you've been watching my current videos, I am obsessed with things that hang off the bottom of my wreath. I don't know if this is a new trend. I don't know. Maybe I started the trend. I don't know. But I love it. So let me check on my sign here. Okay, well, we're dry enough. Okay, it's tacky, but it's not going to break. So what I usually do is I pull my ties in like this, and then I'm going to place it where I want it. And I did put those marks on there, and see how it lines up perfectly. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaners, and when I do it around the crossbar, and that really holds your frame or your sign in place. So you're going to twist it around the crossbars, and since we marked it, they're all in perfect position so that our sign will stay exactly where we want it. So we're just twisting around those crossbars. It actually took me a while to realize, hey, you should mark your crossbars. So for so long, I just kind of guessed. And I don't know, it just didn't cross my mind to mark on the back of the sign where the crossbars were. Silly. But anyway, that's how stinking cute this is. I love it. Let me see if I can move my camera a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Isn't that adorable? I'm going to figure out something to do with this. I need to maybe use this as the hanger and maybe glue the string in here, but I need to see how it's going to hang first. Normally I would put nail filler in this because a lot of times I don't use the front of the sign, I use the back of the sign. But because I did use the front of the sign, I don't want to put nail filler in here because it would leave, gross nail filler. So I'm going to play with that a little bit, and we'll hot glue. Once I hang it up, we'll hot glue the string exactly where it goes, and then we can hang our wreath by the actual twine. So the next thing that I'm going to do is work on getting these guys to hang down. So I'm thinking to just get out where's my, I don't know where it's at. Oops. I'm looking for my burlap. Oh, I see it. Sorry, my craft room is a disaster, yeah. So I have this burlap. You could also use the burlap ribbon that comes from Dollar Tree, but I happen to have this. There's also the satin ribbon. Dollar Tree has that. That would be cute. You could even do hang the garland down and attach it to the garland. That would be kind of cute too. I like the burlap because it's going to match in with the twine. However, I need to ooh, that little bow's cute. I'm not gonna use that for this project, but I'm gonna save this little bow. Can you see? I'm not too far away. There's a little bow here. I'm gonna save this little bow because he's really cute, and I know I could use that on a different project, so save this. Otherwise, I'm going to just kind of pull this off and start over, if you will. I might save that too. So I'm thinking to kind of have my stars hang like this so that my blue one is in the middle. Or do I want to do my stripes? Maybe I'll do the stripes in the middle. That's cute. I guess it doesn't really matter. But I have this burlap. I think I got this from Walmart. But I just have had it for a while. So just trying to measure out how much I want to use. So this is about 20 inches. And then what I'm going to do is just cut it in thirds. And this does not have to be perfect because I want it to fray a little bit. And I'm going to cut off the edge, the sewn edge, because I do want it to fray. Just a little bit. not too much. Okay, see how the one they had was kind of frayed? I like that. I like that look. So, oh, that one's actually a little skinnier than I wanted. That's okay. Cut this one in half. Alright, that's about the size I want there. Cut this one off a little bit, just so it matches. Doesn't want to cut very straight. That's okay. Alright, so here is my little ribbon here. I'm going to hot glue this to the back of the star, but I want to be mindful of how I want them to hang. So if I want them all to be straight, then I will do it right on the end, but if I want them to hang kind of funky, because this is kind of how I'm thinking, is hang funky. So I'm just going to take it and flip it over, put in some hot glue where I want my ribbon to be. Now I can adjust the length of the ribbon on the other end, so I don't have to worry about it, how long it is right now. So I'm just rolling my pencil in that to smash it down without burning my fingers. Okay, so this one, I want it to hang kind of like that, so I'm going to flip it over. Push that hot glue in there. Again, flip it over. Sure, you can find something to push your glue down in besides a pencil, but that's what I have laying here, so that's what I'm using. So we're going to let this dry. It won't take very long. And then we will attach them to our frame. Okay, I want to show you how I'm doing this. So I do have it just hanging up on my wall in a little command hook, but I want to show you like a really cool little trick. So I have these little clamps that I got from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is take my burlap, run it over the bottom rung of the frame, and this way I can place where I want. So without having to retie and tie, I'm going to just clamp that so I can get an idea of where the rest of my stuff needs to go. I love these little clamps. I use them for lots of different projects, for gluing, for drying, for holding dowel rods like this one. I can already tell I want that one to be a little bit lower. I want this one to be a little bit lower too. So this is like a super easy way to make sure your stuff is where you want it to be. Oh, I said I wanted the stripe one in the middle, didn't I? Okay. See how nice it is to be able to move stuff around? I'm just pulling, whoops, I dropped one of my clamps. Just pulling that burlap over the top of that rung, and then we'll tie it and glue it. Another clamp, since I dropped mine behind my desk. my clamp fell. Okay, so now I have kind of an idea of where I want these to go. And I do want them to spread out. Once I glue them, the weight is bringing them towards the middle. But when I glue them onto the frame, I'm going to glue the ribbon itself onto the frame, and I'm going to glue the front of the ribbon to the back of the ribbon, if that makes sense. So, and I also have it hanging up, and so now I kind of know where I want my, where I want to glue my jute string. Okay, so burlap, not a good idea. It's just not, as I was playing with it, it just kept unraveling. And I really want my piece to last the entire season and maybe next year as well. So, don't do the burlap. I'm going to use nautical rope. So I have two different types of nautical rope, both from the Dollar Tree. I have this really thick stuff, which I love. Can't find anymore. But we're going to use some nautical ropes. I have this thick stuff. And then I have the same stuff that says it's nautical rope, but it's much thinner. So I'm going to use this as well. So for the thinner rope, I actually unraveled it, and I'm going to use this as my sign holder just because it's a little bit thicker and has more character. So if you take a piece of tape and you wrap it around the end of your nautical rope, it's much easier to feed through the hole. So I'm going to feed this through. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end, and I'm going to give it kind of a fancy tie. I'm not going to, you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to tape this end, and I'm going to run it through this side. Come on. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is take the end and put a knot in it, and I'm going to leave enough because I'm going to cut that tape off instead of messing with it. But then you have this knot on the top. And that's going to hold your sign in place. So now I'm just going to snip off this tape. Now we have a cute little sign with the knots on it, which is adorable. If you wanted to hit this with hot glue, you can. I also think Elmer's glue would be a good thing to hit this with, just so that it dries clear instead of, you know, all hot gluey, if you will. Now I did the same thing. This is kind of funky, but I glued my thick nautical rope to the back of the stars over my torn up burlap. But I did take a little bit of hot glue and looped it over just to kind of put a seatbelt on, if you will. And we're going to glue these on to our frame. So I'm going to do that now. You already saw how I'm going to place them, my process of placing them. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to glue them onto the frame. Alright, so this is how this guy turned out. I think he looks super cute. You can see our nautical rope stars hanging down, and I actually like this a lot better because it's thick, and so they're not going to turn around a lot. I know when I did my pineapple wreath, the pineapples move around a lot. With this being thick, they really stay in place. And what I also did up here on these knots, to ensure they're not going to come out, I just put a little hot glue in the back. So you guys, this wreath is really, really cute. I decided not to put the little stars on just because I didn't want it to turn into something gaudy. So I love this. I love the way it turned out. I'm going to work on some other projects, and so keep that subscribe button hit that little bell so that you know when I post videos, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And until next time, keep crafting, guys.